Welcome to Reality Exposed, the realm where shadows of truth dance with the beams of the known. You're listening to Francine and Gina. In this sanctuary of sound, we peel back the layers of the world, the one you think you know. Earth, a realm of wonders, of secrets, of mysteries concealed in plain sight. With each episode, journey with us as we delve deep, unmasking enigmas and seeking the truths that lie beneath the surface. Are you ready to step beyond the veil? For what you find might just transform your understanding of reality.
Welcome, everyone, to Reality Exposed, Unmasking Global Deceit. It's me and Gina here, and today we are going to talk about the missing children. So I'm going to let Gina take over. She wants to play a clip that she found. So, Gina, what do you got for us?
All right. So I have not seen the movie The Sound of Freedom, but I've heard
Me
about
either.
it. Yeah, I heard about it like a long time ago. And you said it was made 5 years ago, and I heard and just discovered about that movie in 2021 or 2022. And I was starting to put like some stuff on Facebook about the movie, some clips, but what? It got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I got shut down right away. And so the guy, so we all know that Jim Caviezel is also the one who played Jesus in the movie The Passion, but the real guy is named Tim Ballard, the one who Jim Caviezel plays in the movie The Sound of Freedom. And it is a true story. He helps break these, he tries to capture these pedophiles who are taking children as young as like infants. I'm so sorry, but yes, babies. Okay, I know it sounds disgusting, but babies here. And I'm wearing my Save the Children shirt. I don't know if you can see it here. Save the Children shirt. This was from Patriot Street Fighter. I would definitely recommend follow him. He has really good content and information. But I wanted to start off by playing a clip from Tim. And then I will go ahead and maybe give Francine the link and she can go ahead and put it in the show notes. But I wanted you to hear
where people are living by the Geneva Convention. It's a war of terror. Potentially targeting civilian populations.
We got reports overnight that 3 rockets hit near Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, as it comes under renewed fire.
For example, the Ukrainians will blow out a bridge, and so the Russians can't get into Kyiv. They can't take the capital, and so out of frustration, they will turn their tanks on innocent civilians, blow up residential centers, blow up apartment buildings.
People bound and executed on the sides of roads. There were kids that were found in cellars that looked like torture.
The only way they can actually occupy here is to terrorize people.
We cannot stand by and do nothing. Already there's thousands upon thousands of displaced women and children, and they're destitute. They don't have means to travel or take care of themselves. And so they're going to take opportunities. And the traffickers know that, so the traffickers will provide that opportunity.
Human traffickers are at the borders, taking advantage of the Ukrainian refugee crisis.
We try to discuss, especially women and young girls, to have some preventive measures.
Very dangerous propositions.
Annual global profit from human trafficking is around $32 billion.
Luring women into slavery and prostitution, and taking children to sell them.
So then we started kind of putting together a team. Aerial Recovery led the effort. Their group is made up of former special ops, so they know exactly how to work in hot zones.
In the first 2 weeks, there was already hundreds of children reported missing from crossing the border.
And we started running operations to go into the bombed out zones. Very dangerous. Sometimes bombs are going off. There were mines that we just passed on the side of the road.
There are Russian checkpoints that'll just kill you for being American.
At the same time, this Dutch policeman knows our work, and especially in Latin America and in Mexico, and said, you guys just got the craziest lead. A Dutch pedophile who has been charged and about to stand trial for raping little boys, he took off and He's headed to Mexico. And he's looking to traffic Ukrainian war victims into Mexico, into his empire. He's famous because he's a political activist trying to make legal sex with children as young as 2 or 3 years old.
Even if you somehow lured a kid in such a thing, a child can't understand what's happening. A child can't say yes to such a thing.
Who you are was able to make contact with this suspected child predator. My undercover persona is introduced to him as a guy who traffics kids out of Ukraine. We have Ukrainian undercover operators for the first time.
And I was supposed to be believable that I'm young, naive.
With makeup, I can make her look like she's 12, and she'll be the bait. We now have a list of his lieutenants, and we don't know where they are. We think he certainly knows where they are.
And we're focusing in on that location where this group has created a sex hotel.
They produce child rape videos of little boys. The next 6 hours.
That's what I'm going to share for now. But there you go. Like, seriously.
Well, look at it this way. How many unaccompanied minors crossed our borders in the past year?
Yep.
And where are they? They're unaccounted for. Nobody knows where they're at.
Exactly. And it just so sickening.
It's sickening that our government, they should have been grabbing them kids up and saying, okay, well, we got to put you somewhere. Nope, they just, because they know what's happening with them. And I hate to say this, and this will make you sick, okay, but they don't take the kids just for sexual purposes.
Right.
They take the kids to be slaves. They take the kids to eat them. They take the kids to torture them for the adrenochrome, because they have to torture them first because that produces the adrenochrome.
Mm-hmm.
They harvest their body parts. They don't give a rat's ass about these kids, and it's like, what's worse, Now I heard I watched, I don't know if it was Tim Ballard, I'm not going to say it was, because I don't think I caught the name, and it might even have been something you sent me, Gina, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a man, and he was talking, and he was undercover, meeting with the traffickers, trying to procure him a child, so he's playing a scumbag, and this little kid walks up to him and he asks him for drugs. He says, do you have any cocaine? And he just looked at him and he says, well, they know I get nervous, so they give it to me if I ask.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
that's horrible.
It is. And now how many, last I heard there was a couple thousand unaccounted for children missing from Maui.
Oh wow.
Yep. Unaccounted for kids. They're not even finding bodies. So you tell me. And then they got two of the evils, the big ones, the Umfer lady and what's that, the lizard boy himself, Zuck. And yeah, so now they're actually, I guess, trying to buy the land at pennies on the dollar right now. And it's like, can't imagine why they burned it, but and I know kids were not their main goal, but hey, why not snagging them in the meantime?
Yeah, so it goes very deep as far as the whole sex trafficking for the children. And what I've learned is that our government officials are not even like real human beings. Let's just be real here. And they are just, evil, and they don't care about the kids, obviously, and they will create
Whatever they
earthquakes.
want.
Yeah, they can create earthquakes. So some, for example, okay, I think I mentioned this before with the whole Hillary Clinton Foundation. And then, by the way, just a side note, look up how many people have died working under Hillary and Bill Clinton, and look at the list of how many people have died because
they. It's the only time you ever hear somebody hanging from a doorknob. Because I'm telling you what, literally, if I was going to take that route, I wouldn't use a doorknob because couldn't I put my feet right underneath me and stand up? I mean, and it's like you would think it's a natural instinct to fight against it. So let's see, we got Bourdain, Kate Spade, Chester Bennington, who is what's his face's relative, probably son.
Oh, Podesta. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Podesta.
Side by side picture, and Podesta is sick. If you look at what he has, and that his brother even has some nasty pictures in his home. Like it, you can see it. Did you see those?
Yeah. I was watching. It had to be on Follow the Cabal.
Yeah, you are probably on that one too. Yeah.
But they were saying that they were showing some of these pictures, and do you remember the ones? Because there was a lot of them. My earbuds arrived. So they were showing, and there was a lot of them in a pool, at a pool, like a pool house or something like that. And they wanted to know where it was. They're like, it's a real place. Guess whose place it was? Gloria Vanderbilt.
Oh my gosh.
So you know who her son is? What's his face?
No.
Anderson Cooper. They showed some of those pictures that were taken in the pool house of all those tortured children. Lo and behold, one looks like a young Anderson Cooper.
Now let's get a little bit deeper than that. So they actually have a photo of Anderson and his older brother, and who later on supposedly killed himself.
He probably did.
But check this out.
Unless he was going to rat.
No. What happened is that he transitioned into what is her name? The redhead that gets bashed on all of those what do you call them? Roasts that they used to have. What's her name? Kathy Griff.
Yeah.
That's the brother of Anderson Cooper.
No.
Yes. Look that one up. So
that explains a lot.
A lot.
And I just saw the most horrible picture of her. It was her, Celine Dion, and they were showing like what these people look like in a very short amount of time when they can't get the adrenochrome.
Oh yes. And then you can see how sunken in their eyes are. They actually look like what their spirit looks like. Evil, disgusting, and just
gross.
But that picture that I was telling you about of the mother and then Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffith when she was a boy, and behind them, did you look at what was behind them? It was because they were Satanists, some satanic ritual going on behind them in that picture. And you can look this up yourself, just type in, even Google may have it. Like, I don't do Google search anymore because they've hidden a lot of information that is true. So I use either Brave, sometimes DuckDuckGo, mostly Brave, but I have my other sources that I use. But you can see that behind her in that photo of her and her kids, you see them. And there's a clip of Kathy, Anderson Cooper, and her talking together, and they were talking about they were all like,
how old was the brother when he transitioned?
I forget. He was an adult though.
Was he a young adult?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if not young, I would say probably at least 21 and or
Yeah,
older.
yeah, yeah. But that's what I mean, like a
Oh
young
yeah, I
adult.
was
Yeah,
thinking
okay,
18.
because the first time I think I ever saw Kathy Griffin on TV was on, you may even be too young for this one, Gina. It was when Ellen DeGeneres had her own sitcom.
Oh, I remember that sitcom. Uh-huh. Yep. Those are my times. I wish she had long hair before she said that she is a lesbian, right?
Yeah, she came out on the
Yes.
show and they
Came out on the
canceled it.
show. Yeah, I forget what that show is called, but she had hair down to here. And then yes, Kathy was in there as well. I
And
remember that.
I caught a saying, and I swear it was on the same show, so it had to be the Fall of Cabal. And they said, whether you believe in Satan or you don't, it doesn't matter. They
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I was like, yep, yep, that is so true because it doesn't matter. You know, they could be just killing children, sacrificing them for nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't know because it's not a realm I mess around in anyway. But
Oh, yes, they do. I have information on that. So just it goes as biblical. So even in there, Moloch,
mhm.
they would burn the children alive as a sacrifice. Well, they've kept that tradition and they still do it. And it's called the Bohemian Grove, where all of these higher ups come together in their capes and their robes or whatever, their hooded robes, I should say, and they'd have sacrifices there of children. And this is part of their satanic belief or whatever.
Mhm.
So I actually do have information in a video on that as well here. Maybe I can find it a little bit and then play something from there later on if you want. But Moloch and then like I said, the adrenochrome is their drug of choice. It even
Well, yeah,
says
because it keeps them looking young and
just think of that movie Death Becomes Her from the 90s with Meryl Streep and
yeah.
What's her name? The Goldie Hawn?
Yep.
Goldie Hawn? Is that her name?
Yep.
The
See,
redhead?
and it's funny because they all seem to have plastic surgery, but they never have scars. They never have to
But they
heal.
do have those black eyes, don't they?
Yes, the Black Eye Club.
The Black Eye Club. And I've heard that when they do take adrenochrome, which mind you, can you explain what adrenochrome is? I loved your say on that one.
I don't remember what I said.
Oh, so it's from
Oh, the pineal gland.
pineal gland, yes.
Yes, and it's funny because they destroy our pineal gland. That is okay. Whether you believe this or you don't, it doesn't matter because it's true. The pineal gland is where your psychic abilities come from. Each and every one of us were born with certain gifts. They're
Mhm.
not all the same, but it gives us that sixth sense and all that stuff. So that's why the fluorides are in our water. It's not for our cavities because obviously it don't work. Um, it's in everything. They fluoride us to death, literally, because that is a major calcifier of the pineal gland, which like kills it.
Mhm.
So yeah, the adrenochrome is in the pineal gland is like
Yeah.
very spiritual. Um, but it's almost like with their rituals, I don't know, it gives them like some
Massive high. It says in the Fear and Loathing is it Fear and Loathing Las Vegas with Johnny Depp and I forget that Puerto Rican actor's name Del Toro. I forget his first name.
oh yeah.
So
I
there's
know who
a
you're
clip
talking
in
about.
there when Johnny Depp was like, "Oh, what's this?" And then Del Toro was like, "Oh, that's adrenochrome, man. Makes mescaline like ginger beer." And so yes, and so they're all about this thing, but it's from the children's adrenaline gland. And when what they do is it has to be in a torture form. And they go after the children because they are the most purest form. And so they will
And they're
take
not
that
calcified
adrenochrome
yet.
and not calcified yet, exactly, from all the crap that we've been ingesting all of our lives, like the toothpaste, you mentioned the fluoride, all of that stuff, even outside, just being outside all with all the chemtrails, I'm sure as well. And so, and that is like the drug that they prefer, but yet they have to kill the a child, a tortured child, like a tortured child.
But
My
doesn't it act almost like the fountain of youth for them?
as well
Yeah.
as a fountain of it has it does multiple things, let's just say that. um and I have a clip on there. I can go ahead and send show notes, in the show notes, a link so they can take a look for themselves about adrenochrome. I'll send you some links over so you can probably put in
Cool.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll do
definitely want to do that.
the sex trafficking one, and for the and then as well as the adrenochrome, and then the Moloch one. And just so we'll put three, maybe I don't want to overwhelm, maybe like three, three an episode we'll go ahead and do. And because I want to share the information that I have
I
and
need
my
to put the
sources.
link to the Follow the Cabal in there.
Oh yeah, that's the
I'm
first one
watching the
everyone
sequel
should
now.
watch.
I'm
Isn't
watching the
Yeah.
sequel now. So yeah.
Yeah, and then there's more about Bill Gates, and it goes on. Oh, there's a whole segment of
Don't
Janet.
get me started on him, because that man makes me sick.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I believe this to be true, a lot of you will not, because it's one of those theories that's a little out there for some people, but there are kids who are being rescued,
Mm-hmm.
but these kids are not brought above ground here. They are brought to another planet. They set it up. I don't know. I know, like the one guy who talked about it, he has to drink something when he goes.
Oh, wow.
So it's something that the beings give him, because otherwise he would never survive.
Oh, I see.
Because this is different atmospheres and everything.
Oh
So
yeah, I've heard the Galactic Federation can't come down here and just breathe our air because it's like poison to them. It's
yep.
toxic.
Well, it's poison to us too.
Yeah, it's poison to us too.
But and I'm glad that they don't bring him here, because these kids don't have anything left here. They're taking, I don't remember the name of the place, but it begins with a C. It's a very peaceful place, and they're brought there, and they said they will only return here if they are needed for a mission.
Mm-hmm,
Now,
mm-hmm.
because if you think about it, the kids, like when they say a child is missing, very seldom is somebody like really kidnapped,
Mm-hmm.
where they're held or something like that by a stranger or even by a relative or whatever.
Right.
That's very low. I probably try and look up. Well, no, because they won't give me the real count, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Most of the kids go, they love the kids in the foster system because doesn't nobody give a shit about them, or their parents are high or
Right.
crazy or something, and then they take the kids, and lo and behold,
Yeah, it makes you
parents
wonder
never
why.
get
I
them
wonder
back.
why they're giving us all drugs and alcohol, so we can be so high and not even look after our children, where then they're taken away from us. It's like they're just destroying humanity here. These are crimes against humanity.
They don't care.
They don't care.
And a lot of it has to do with our population control, because that's the big thing for them. Control the population, control the masses. Yeah, I was on that episode of the sequel today. So.
Yeah. I was like, no, you're totally right.
Yep. And it's funny, because that was something that when I started digging for this COVID, and I realized it had a patent because I'd come across the patent. They're like, check it, here's the patent number, and I'm do. And I looked, and I was just jaw on the floor. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just everything's just so. Oh, and when all this, I started getting into all this stuff, I found like 3 or 4 sites on Zuck's place, and I'm watching what I say because I've already been warned on YouTube.
Oh, already? Jeez.
Yeah, but that was over the jab
Oh man, yeah.
because I went against the who?
Oh, we talked
Who
about
did I go
the
against?
the who. Who
Yeah,
cares?
because we all know that the jabs are good for you. They're healthy. There's nothing wrong with them. But people are dying there. I mean,
Just body bags piling.
yeah. And it's like every day I open my phone and it's someone else dies. And it's a lot of it is cancer. I even have a friend of mine who he got up one day and he had a swollen spot. Right? And I don't want to say where just because I don't want people to know who I'm talking about. But it literally showed up out of nowhere.
Oh, wow.
And it was cancer. God is good and he's been cured. But I'm just saying, and that was the first thing I asked him. Did you take that? And he did. And I'm like, I swear that's what's because a lot of people now are dying of skin cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's not something a lot of people die from.
No.
Because that really has to get out of control before it's deadly. And most people notice it before it gets that bad, or, I mean, I know one person who let their skin cancer get out of control, but they were well aware of it.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden people are like, it's killing people. And I'm like, shit just don't make no sense. But I found some sites, some pages on Zuck's place, and I turned them in. I'm sorry. If there's a child in their underwear posing sexy, I'm turning that shit in. There's something wrong with it. But they said there was nothing wrong with it. They didn't break any rules. But now they didn't break any rules, but I spent the better part of 3 years in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
They were literally shutting me down, throwing me in Facebook jail, silencing me. And a couple months ago, I actually got something back saying, "Oh, our mistake. You can post a video." Because they literally put me, I think it was 30 days in Facebook jail for something the video never mentioned.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Piglosi.
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, remember I was talking to you about the whole Clinton Foundation and what happened in Haiti when they had that earthquake. Well, that earthquake, come to find out, was actually planned. There was like some submarine underneath there, hit something, caused it, and Red Cross
The
comes
big
and then takes the
flood in
kids.
Queensland, Australia.
Yeah, everything. Like they're
You know
controlling.
what that was from? The same thing. One of their government officials had paid a bunch of money to the Clinton Foundation or something, and they were getting ready to nail them, because it was all bogus. Oh, look, a place where they never flooded before in Australia is now completely underwater.
Wow, yeah. And there's tunnels that reach from like, let's say, the Buckingham Palace all the way to like Jerusalem. In like literally, there's like a whole different world underneath us where we're standing. And they have access to, that's how they take children and move them from everywhere. They literally take them underground. It's and then there's also what is called DUM, the deep underground military base, where I mean, there's good military and there's bad military.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also where there's supposedly children there too.
Oh, I'm
And
sure.
some operations going on. There's the white hats and the black hats, so everyone's playing a role. And so sometimes I get confused, like who's who and what's this, what's going on. But it's really interesting to pay attention and just kind of like look things up, that maybe align to whatever we say, like, you know what, that is a good point that they brought up. Let me look into this a little bit further. And I would recommend, yes, listen to your inner voice, trust yourself, trust your intuition. If it's leading you to look somewhere, look, please.
And
And then
one thing,
share.
to me, the more absurd it sounds,
Yeah, seriously.
the more truth it has to it. And it is so messed up to that it comes out like, but it's true.
Hmm.
It's like I was listening to something and they talked about the McMartin trial. Do you remember the McMartin trial?
No,
It was
Martin and
long time ago. It was about satanic rituals and children and this and that. And there was like a daycare place, but like the whole family was involved. And
oh yeah,
I
I have.
remember I saw the movie and I'm thinking,
Yeah, right,
yeah,
huh?
I don't know, man.
I feel you.
This doesn't make any sense. But they said that the McMartins were part of all of that. I guess they were supplying the children to some people. And see, and my thing is, I never met her, but it was like my dad's cousin, I think. And I was like 12, and we got a letter in the mail. She had been kidnapped.
Oh my
She was
goodness.
never found. And it was like back in the 70s, so it was one of those just boom right out the driveway.
Wow.
Um, and it's weird too because at the time there was like all kind of rumors going around about the creepy man in the white van. I swear, I don't know
Wow.
what that is about the white van, but yeah.
Have you watched
Um,
Black Box? Or is it called Black Box, I think? It had, what's that guy's name? I forget, but it's about kids who get missing and get tortured and beaten and everything and killed. They weren't talking about the adrenochrome or anything. They're just talking about, but it was a black van this time, and then would lure the
yeah,
kids with black balloons. He was like, "Oh, you want to see a magic trick?" And I swear, it's like the whole missing children. We really need to pay attention and share, because like I was sharing with you about a man that I was working on and doing massage work, and he was sharing with me about the whole healthcare and what he's learning about Bill Gates and Fauci and
yeah,
this and that. And then he was, "Oh, is this too much information for you?" I said, "Not at all, not at all." I said, I actually I've researched a lot during the 2020 until to the present day." And then I said, then I asked, then he's, "Well, what do you know?" I said, "Well, do you know about the children being sex trafficked?" He's like, "Oh no." So there's people that do not know about this still, people who
hmm
are starting to like wake up to other things, which is great. But it's very important for us to also share the information and then have people look into it. And like the Sound of Freedom, what happened? Did you say there was an air conditioning problem when they were trying to, because they're still trying to block
yes.
the truth?
When I first heard of the Sound of Freedom, they were saying how the movie was made like 5 years ago, and I heard about it because the dude that I follow, Jason Shirka, on YouTube and Unified TV, he's actually an executive producer.
Oh,
So, um, there was something, and I don't remember where I heard it, but they were talking about how they don't, this is supposed to be a very good movie. I've talked to people that have watched it and they said it was excellent. Sad, it's not a feel good movie, of course, but it's very well done. And they said that, now you would think Hollywood would scoop that up, right? Nope.
Right.
Hollywood tried to bury it. And so when it finally did come out in the theaters, oh, it was a lady. She said she bought her tickets online and was supposed to go after dinner. Well, she gets a notification that her ticket's been refunded. There was a problem with the theater. So they went ahead and went to the theater anyway. And they said the air conditioning wasn't working in that theater. I guess they did get to see it, though. I guess they let them, they did play it. But it was posted, I think, on TikTok, right? The amount of people, there were thousands of people that commented on this, and they all said the same thing. And these are people from all over the country. And they all sat in hot, stifling theaters.
That's horrible.
Yeah, because they were shutting the AC. They were trying everything to get people not to see this movie.
Yeah, I can't even rent it. Like I'm searching for it, just like that movie Inferious, which took me forever to finally have access to, and then it was $20 to rent for 24 hours. But I rented it anyway because I wanted to.
Well, a friend of mine in South Africa sent me the name of this app that was showing Sound of Freedom. Oh, okay. So of course, there was two, and I picked the wrong one. Needless to say, a couple days later, I got a new debit card in the mail. So, but in South Africa, they don't have cable like we do. So they do stream stuff.
I see.
So, but I do check regularly online to see if it's streaming anywhere. I mean, I'll gladly pay for it, but I'm surprised it's not on Unified TV. I don't know why it's not.
Get it on there.
Yeah, the executive producer owns Unified TV, so at least he doesn't call it television. It's Unified TV.
Remember the Tele Live Vision? Just TV.
Yep. I've heard that before too.
Yeah. All these government means mind control. These words.
It never made sense to me, like, why when that urge to drink was gone and overnight, why was the first thing I did that morning shut my TV off? I would go away for 2 days and leave my TV on all the time. It's just I never shut it off ever. It was either on for the cats or just noise, or I was watching something stupid. But it was always on. And that day that the urge to drink was gone, I just walked up, like it wasn't even me doing it. I was doing it, but I didn't even think about it. And I just shut the TV off, and I had just woken up, and that's not. Why would I shut it off when I just wake up? Now's when I would watch it.
Right.
And I was like, I could never figure out why did the TV have to be shut off. And I'm like, yeah, because I watch garbage television and it's not good for my head. I thought that was it. Well, kind of was, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's like, your spirit guides are just like, nope, let's unplug this little piece of caca out.
Yep. Now, aside from Karen videos that I watch once in a while.
Karen came from Oakland, huh?
I gotta watch the Karen ones because they're just funny. But like YouTube, I mostly watch stuff that has to do with this.
Yeah.
Like Biden talking about they have to get rid of all the toxic stuff in Maui. What? How come that's the only place with a fire that has toxic stuff?
Oh, and Fall Cabal, did you see the whole thing about the fire and then like how did a car
No, not yet. Was
Oh,
that on
that
the
yeah.
sequel?
I thought it was in the first one about the fires. This is like in the very beginning of the documentary. It was talking about fires that are being made
Oh,
by
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and how like certain
Yeah, because
certain
they were talking about California.
yeah, yes. Remember all those fires we had over here in California?
Yeah, but that's what I was saying to you earlier because they let people go right back in.
Yeah.
Maui, they're not letting people go right back
Very
in.
interesting.
Yep. And then you got the traffickers and the lizard boy and
So
child.
tons of lizards. That's like our so remember in The Simpsons, there's this one episode where I don't know, there was like some congressperson or maybe it was a president at the time because the Bush is all like the lizards and stuff. And so they take the mask of the government official and it was like an alien. There's some truth in The Simpsons.
Well, technically, okay. Technically, there are no evil ETs, right? But if you think about it, where are the lizard people? So they're not they're ETs, but they're not ETs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
ones that are coming here, technically, are not out to get us. And
No,
don't let Hollywood tell you any different.
yeah, whatever Hollywood says or whatever the TV says, think the opposite.
Yes.
It's just a lie.
We'll get into this in another episode, but because the government does have a whole plan for us. I guess if we don't comply quick enough or whatever it is to get us in line, they have a whole thing with the ETs attacking us. It could be the United States, it could happen in the UK, Australia, it could happen anywhere, but there are a lot of governments that have the capability to do what they want to do.
They're still there. They're still there.
But ETs and even what's his name? Dr. Stephen Greer, I think. I want to double check. The alien doctor.
The one from Ancient Aliens.
No.
The one with the hair. There's a couple of them. I forget.
I know I have the app. Where's the app? It's all about contacting them.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's Dr. Stephen Greer. He does talk about, making contact with them, but it's like described in a very peaceful, spiritual way. Now, like I've had an interaction with an orb one time. And it was like right when I was starting to awaken, or right when things were really starting to click and go crazy. Well, this orb formed, and I was at a haunted place up in St. Augustine, and I still didn't know what it was. I knew it was an orb, but the little
yeah.
ghost meter went crazy, and then this like orb formed over here, and it like floated, and it's like stopped right in front of my face for what seemed like a long time, but was probably a second or two.
Oh wow.
It was the most peaceful feeling I've ever felt in my life. I wouldn't even know how to get that feeling again. It was that kind of peace. It was just something that humans don't feel.
Right.
Not at that level, and then it was like it was looking at me, and then it just floated off and disappeared in the wall, and I'm like, oh, of course my roommate went to bed because he did. He missed it. I was like, God, why did I have to be the only one to see this? Because it wouldn't have happened if somebody else was there. But, and that's what I'm imagining, that's how they're describing when you do connect with the ETs and stuff. And sometimes you don't even see them. It's the energy you feel, or you know how like you see heat coming off the concrete and it's like all wavy. You could see something like that, but they said it's very peaceful, very spiritual. Yeah, because they're all spiritual beings.
I mean, heck, I just told you what I found out recently. I got confirmation finally.
Oh, I could have told you that. Of course you are. There's just certain things that make sense for some people and don't make sense for others, it's just,
Yeah.
and being like the black sheep is a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big sign, because we don't fit in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I never did. I was like, I was always good with it, even within my own family. It's just there's 5 of us, so it's like them 4 and then me. And I don't have like the qualities that they do. I'm just not, I don't know. And then you don't feel like this is your home,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't come here all the time when we incarnate. But like star seeds, what they incarnated there first.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what the lady was telling me, that I I actually already ascended a long time ago, but yet I came back here on Earth to help with freedom.
Well, what it is, we all signed up to be here.
Yeah.
Every person on this planet is signed up to be here. And unfortunately, even those children that are missing.
Mm.
As a soul, they knew what they were getting into.
Wow.
But when we come here and we're born, the minute they give us a name, then a whole narrative starts being written. That's our story. So we forget, as souls, we forget why we're here.
Yes.
And then you spend, however long till you wake up, and then you go, well, why am I here? Oh, I'm here for this. Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
I can look around today and I know exactly why I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It took
To
me a while to figure it out, but you
Yeah,
know what?
it's to awaken people, to let some others know that it's okay
Help with
to be
humanities.
awake and talk about it. Be you, do you.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of people that I've talked to personally that have had spiritual awakenings. And if this pertains to you, please take note. And weird things do start happening to you, the orb, Archangel Michael coming through on my phone telling me to locate my soul.
I remember you said that. Yeah, I remember that.
Things happen. People start to think you're weird. You know what? Chances are people thought you were weird before.
Yeah.
It's true, because there's something different
Yeah.
about us. And it comes through, people don't usually know what it is. They can't put their finger on it. And I actually had asked somebody, I asked a friend of mine, tell me why you think I'm weird.
That's right.
I completely agree with you. I am. But why do you think so? She goes, I don't know. I've never been able to put my finger on it. There's something about you. And I'm like,
But what is weird, you know? Like what is weird? I don't understand.
Something I would rather be than normal.
Yeah, what is normal? Like I don't feel like I'm ordinary. I'm definitely extraordinary and I'm not normal. I'm definitely
No,
don't want
I
to
will
be
think out the
normal.
box. I will think for myself. I'm not a puppet, you
Mm-mm.
know,
Yeah. Nope.
and I won't do anything just to get along.
Yeah.
Because if it don't fit with me, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm not a cog in the machine. I'm that stick that goes right into the spoke.
Yeah.
But spiritual people, they, and especially a lot of people woke up during COVID.
Yes.
So everybody was scattered and nobody knew. They open up to somebody and then they just get like completely shut down because they would be talking about this kind of stuff or something in this area. And then nobody wants to hear it. People don't want to hear.
But they don't know.
Well, yeah, but there's some people, they don't, they like when we're not our best because then they're here and we're here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
Those
like,
people,
I'm glad you put stock into that because I don't rate myself against other people.
right.
They
We're
do.
same. I
They
see
do.
myself
Yeah,
as
it's
same as
like,
everyone
eh.
else. Like they can be rich as heck or they could be as poor as heck. I see myself exactly where they're at. Like I'm a human being here on earth trying to experience things that I'm supposed to experience to find out who I am.
But and you had an awakening, so I know you must have went through this. You lose
Oh,
people. People
oh
will
yeah.
drop like flies from you. I don't care if you never mention anything spiritual. They know something's different. They don't want. Nope, nope. I'm just like nope. And
I always
I'm
say I
good
dropped
with that. I'm good with
I say
that.
that
You what?
I always say I dropped them.
I just say, we just kind of know, good luck, peace, do you. I'll do me over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. No, I think, because I was always like but I chose that. I always like to be a loner. I always like to be by myself because that's where I feel like it can be free because I don't want to hear people's opinions about certain things. It bother like I don't put me in that mess. I don't want to be a part of it. And so I always detached myself. Never was really close to anybody. No, because yeah,
To me, it was
didn't
always
align
like
with me.
I just always thought I was a really good judge of character. So I would walk into a room. I'm the type of person, if I go to the party and playing with the dog, I like them better. They're
Yes.
more authentic to be honest. But like I'll walk into a room and I just look around and it's like I just want to puke because everybody's so fake.
Yeah.
And well, those two over there are laughing like they're best friends, and
They're
it's
not
like
bad. They hate
I
each
didn't
other.
even know I was
They-
able to read the energy like that. I just
Oh, I know. So I love my church dearly, because they're the ones who actually stayed open during COVID and fight against. Now they're suing the government and everything
nice.
because they're trying to sue them. And so I love them because they're all about the Bill of Rights and freedom. They're patriots and they love God. So that's why I go there. But however, I tell myself I don't want to really go because I just, like you said, you can just see right through the fakeness. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I
Oh,
can't. I can't. I can't. It just makes my skin
I can't.
crawl.
I just don't want to socialize with anyone. Let me just go there, going for you and the kids, because the kids really enjoy their little school, and I want them to be close to have a relationship with God. But I said I don't want to partake in any of the like women's social thing. I'm okay.
I could do it when I was drinking,
Me too.
but
Actually,
I swear I give a shit about stuff less now than I did when I was drinking. Because now I'm like, oh hell no,
you
I'm
can
not
see
doing
way
that.
more clear. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay to myself and do my own thing, and I'm good with that. Y'all do it over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't, well, for one, I don't want to sit in a bar all day, and that's primarily what is in the area I'm in. So it's kind of like,
Yeah. It's a bar everywhere. A liquor store everywhere where I'm at.
I have a bar in every corner.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you, even when I was drinking, I didn't want to sit in a bar. Ugh. It's just a bunch of
Nasty.
phony, fake, two-faced stuff going on that,
Trying to figure out life themselves and they're so lost. Like I was lost. Listen, I was an
oh, I was too.
actor, like I've been through there, I've been through that. And so I know, and I was lost. I was a horrible person. Like I was just very into self-centered, not thinking about other people. I was just always thinking about myself, my needs, this, and it was all like the alcohol. It was not even part of me. And then I had to once I broke out of that alcohol addiction, then I started learning about me, and I'm like, who the heck was I? So I'm glad that's the old past life Gina. It's like buried.
A
But
lot of people that are star seeds,
yeah,
indigos, crystal children, whatever you call them, light bears, light workers, it doesn't matter. A lot of these people do get stuck in addiction because
yeah, I heard that too.
there's things that we deal with. Like, I wasn't psychic growing up. I just always thought I was a good judge of character, thought I talked to myself a little too much. Half the time I wasn't talking to me. But I didn't know that, and because it wasn't something we talked about. I was raised Catholic. Come on now, I want to talk about that stuff.
No one talks about psychic gifts. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I didn't realize that being a good judge of character, I was reading people's energy. Like people would say, Francine, you're such a bitch. But it was like because I don't talk to people. I don't.
Want to talk to?
Nope. Nope. It's like somebody would just, and they're like, well, don't you want to say hi?
No.
Nope. Sure don't. And I would just stop it right there because why?
Why?
I can feel it from here. I want no part of that, But I
Yeah.
didn't understand what was really happening, and we're sensitive to that kind of stuff. And if you don't understand it, it can be very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And especially empaths, when you're taking on energy from other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know, like you could walk in a grocery, and this happened to me during COVID. I'd walk in the grocery store, right, and everybody's all pissed off because they're all wearing masks and all this, and it's
And
like
then there's no toilet
I
paper.
would come home raging, and it's like I left in a good mood. What is going on? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to start protecting my energy 24/7. Okay, because I didn't realize I was picking up other people's energies like that. Nope, sure didn't. I'm glad I know now. Because that's a horrible feeling that like you're angry and it's not even your anger.
Yeah. It's like, where did this come from? What the heck?
I mean, I am grateful I was able to identify it at the time to know it was not mine
Mm-hmm.
because there was a lot of it out there.
Right.
Crazy Karens stealing all the toilet paper. Be
Oh.
ready, guys. It's coming again.
Resist, resist, resist.
So, what are we looking at for next week? What
Yeah,
do you
I
think?
don't know. I want to know from the audience, like the listeners, what do you want to know? Like, what's the next topic you want us to delve into?
We could just go on forever.
Yeah, so that way
How
I can.
about we talk about what I said the government's got in store for us with the ETs? And if you want to